Hey everyone, welcome. Get ready because I am absolutely thrilled to have you here for today's explainer. We are unpacking what is literally a masterclass in communication and network growth. We're going to learn exactly how to share the Aurum platform effectively without ever sounding like a pushy salesperson or, a highly technical crypto guru. If you've ever felt like sharing an opportunity just feels kind of heavy or unnatural, well, this explainer is going to completely change your perspective and give you some amazingly practical tools to use right away. Let's be real for a second. Have you ever tried explaining blockchain or crypto or AI trading to a friend and just watch their eyes completely glaze over? It's a highly relatable pain point, right? You start talking about nodes and ledgers, and they literally start looking for the exits. Okay, let's dive into this, because the strategy we're breaking down today completely eliminates that awkward dynamic.
Here's a quick roadmap for this explainer. First, we'll cover the two-a-day habit. Second, how to stop overcomplicating the pitch. Third, your toolkit of natural conversation starters. Fourth, how to let the system work. And finally, the power of duplication. By the end of this, you're going to have your exact toolkit.
All right, Section 1, the two-a-day habit, building your daily rhythm.
2. That's it. That is your core metric. The entire foundation of this sharing strategy relies on the incredibly simple, honestly almost magical mantra of reaching out to just 2 people a day. Now, you can do 10 if you want to, but 2 a day is the rhythm. It keeps you active, it keeps you consistent, and most importantly, it keeps you from feeling totally overwhelmed. But why are we sharing this in the first place? It's not just about the business side. It's really about helping everyday folks discover a platform that actually works for them. And there's a cool distinction here between customers and partners. A customer who just wants to use the platform earns the exact same daily ROI as a partner. The only difference? A partner earns extra for actively growing the network. Plus, the barrier to entry is just so low. Everyday people can start their journey of earning daily ROI with as little as 100 USDC or USDT. You seriously don't have to be some kind of day trading expert to get involved.
Moving right along to Section 2. Stop overcomplicating the pitch. Be an inviter, not an explainer.
And this brilliantly illustrates the exact difference. On one hand, you have the explainer. This is the person sweating through 4 exhausting hours trying to teach complex blockchain tech, totally confusing their prospect, and ultimately just scaring them away. But on the other hand, you have the inviter. This person spends exactly 30 seconds offering a simple, natural invitation. They keep it light, they keep it conversational, and there's zero pressure.
There's this fantastic metaphor from the source material. You're just trying to give them a little potato chip right out of the bag. Just give them one. Think about it. If you shove the whole bag in their face, it's way too much. But if you give them one chip, just a 30-second taste of what Aurum is doing, they're naturally going to go, "Oh wow, this is really good, I want more." Your only job is to hand them that single potato chip.
Which brings us to Section 3, Natural Conversation Starters. This is your actual toolkit for simple sharing.
Okay, here's your first conversation starter. Let's call it the bank squeeze. It starts with this incredibly brilliant psychological hook, "Have you ever noticed?" As soon as you say those words, their brain immediately leans in, right? They want to figure out what they were supposed to notice. Then you follow up with, "Have you ever noticed that most people aren't happy with their money sitting in the bank, getting practically zero returns?" It is a universal frustration. You point out that banks use our money to make massive profits for themselves, but they certainly aren't sharing those profits back with us. And boom, you've naturally opened the door to a real conversation without pitching a single thing. Or try this one. It's an incredibly powerful yet super simple conversation starter. You just casually ask, "Have you heard about AI finance?" Our source material actually shares a hilarious anecdote about this. The speaker was at a massive Ethereum community event in Cannes, France, literally surrounded by hardcore blockchain geeks. He asked them what the next big thing was, and they all agreed, AI. But when he followed up with, "Have you heard of AI finance?" they looked at him like he was speaking an alien language. Even the absolute tech geeks didn't know what it was yet. So when your friend inevitably goes, "Wait, what's AI finance?" you do not go into the code. No way. You just hit these simple lifestyle benefits. You tell them that Aurum has an AI that actively analyzes market opportunities. But it doesn't just analyze, it executes real trades in real time. And the absolute best part? It works while you're sleeping, while you're traveling, or out having dinner with friends. It actually helps grow your crypto accounts instead of just letting your money sit there doing nothing. Simple, clear, and massively appealing. Now, if those conceptual ones don't quite fit the vibe, you can always go with starters 3 and 4, which are just super direct and honest. You can just ask, hey, would you be open to taking a quick look at Urim Foundation? You can mention how the ecosystem shares real daily returns back with its customers. Or keep it even more casual, look, I'm part of an awesome project. Would you like me to send a short video overview just to see if it's interesting to you? The key here is just practicing these until they roll off your tongue naturally in pretty much any conversation.
All right, Section 4, let the system work, the professional handoff.
So the crucial point is this 4-step easy invitation formula. Step 1, you start that natural 30-second chat. Step 2, you hand them the potato chip using one of the conversation starters we just covered. Step 3 is where the magic happens. You absolutely do not start explaining. Instead, you point them to a live Zoom call, a recorded video replay, or even a simple PDF. And step 4, you just let the professional presentations do the heavy lifting for you. You never actually have to present the complex details yourself.
To take all the pressure off, just remember this amazing analogy. When you see a really great movie, you don't feel the need to be the producer, the actor, or the director to tell your friends about it, right? You just say, hey, I saw a great movie. You should really go check it out. It's the exact same concept here with Urim. Pointing them to the information is literally your only job.
Finally, Section 5, the power of duplication, scaling your success.
Here is the absolute golden rule. Complexity kills duplication. Simplicity scales. Look, if you try to sound like a genius and deliver this brilliant, perfectly technical 4-hour presentation, your prospect might actually be pretty impressed. But you know what they're going to think internally? They're going to think, well, that's great for them, but there is no way I can explain it like that. And because they feel they can't do what you just did, they will never duplicate your efforts. Your business will completely stall out.
But when you follow this duplication cycle, magic happens. You invite simply, the system does all the explaining for you, they join easily, and then that light bulb goes off in their head. Wait a second, I didn't even understand half of what they said at first, but they just pointed me to a video? I can definitely do that with my friends. When new partners' confidence blooms because they realize the system actually does the heavy lifting, they start inviting too. Your business starts to breathe, new energy flows in, and your team grows faster than you ever thought possible.
Which brings us to the end of our explainer, and to this final provocative question. You've got the rhythm, you've got the exact conversation starters, and you know how to let the system do the work. The simplicity really is the magic. So, are you ready to hand out your first potato chip today? Grab your pen, pick your absolute favorite 30-second starter, and go hit that 2-a-day goal right now. Thanks so much for joining me to explore this incredible source material, and as always, keep on learning.